Hi, I'm Gabe,
And I'm Kat.
and we're
Weird.
the Ghouls Next
What's next
Door.
door?
Yeah, it's
Talk about
talking about
spooky
spooky
stuff.
stuff, and we are live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. If you are watching and or listening to us there, that's what we're doing. And as we stated at the beginning of this month, we are going to be doing special episodes in which we will have guests every other Monday live in between our regularly scheduled episodes in
Programming.
which we're doing our, heavy hitters and our facts and our research. It's a lot of work doing our research. So we thought it'd be fun to kind of bring fellow horror lovers and talk about things that they're working on or just highlight other people in the community and chat and find the things that we have in common and just like chill for a little bit in between and not always be so heavy and sad about the world.
Facts. It's happening. I'm
It is
sorry. Yeah,
happening.
no, I was just like really listening, and then I was like, oh God, no, me too. I have to say words.
You're on the show, Kat. You are hey, you were live, long time listener, big time fan. And in today's episode, we have two wonderful people who are producers of a horror media podcast as well, similar to ours in that they love and also have like complaints too of horror, as we all do as fans are. But super great producers in the horror podcast world. I want to invite Kat and Jazz of Girl That's Scary podcast.
Hey
Ow.
y'all.
Welcome. Thank you both so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us. We're so excited.
Yes.
I to start us off, I was someone was talking to me about like the psychology of podcasts and how when we're listening to them we have this weird kind of connection to podcast hosts more than like what we do on like TV, right? Is because it's like people talking and they're just chatting and you get like their inside jokes, you get a little peek into their lives and like who they are. So you kind of like it's in a way you feel like, oh, these are my friends, right? Like you spend hours and hours with them, even though you've never met them. And so I feel that very much when I listen to all's podcasts where I'm just like, oh my God, like I had that same thought, or like, God, didn't we do that before? Or like
Mm-hmm.
things where I'm just like, along with kind of like whenever you guys go on like those tangents and or like you're just like and then this I'm like yes. I just want to be in the same room to be like exactly, like I want to have those like moments with you all, and I think that's super exciting. So I just wanted to put that out there that like we're big fans.
Oh my God, thank you.
I'm crying inside of my chest right now.
And we love to derail a conversation because we literally be in the living room just like, yeah, we're talking about this and then hot dogs. What? what? What does that have to do with this fucking movie?
Who knows? It's gonna make sense in the end.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. We're gonna loop back around. Yeah, Kat definitely knows how that is with me. I will go on like several different detours in one story.
Yeah.
Like, what was what? How did we get here? I don't know, but we're here now, and that's
Yeah.
just how it is.
I
Yeah,
keep up sometimes. It works every once in a while.
sometimes it helps to have a podcast where you can listen back and be like, oh, that's why.
Oh,
That's
I
why
get the
we did
joke
that.
now in hindsight.
I have a hearing problem all the time, so sometimes we'll say stuff and I don't catch it because I'm like, oh, I didn't hear that, and then I'll go back and listen. I'm like, when did she slip that joke in there? when did
You're like, you're so funny. I
I
get
also
that
Yeah.
a
whisper a
lot in
lot.
real time.
she does
I
whisper
also
randomly.
Yeah.
whisper a lot. That's so funny. I
Yeah.
do it on
So
purpose. I don't know if you do.
also,
But
like, it's on purpose, but also on accidente. So at this point, like, if we'll be talking and I can hear, and I'm laughing at myself because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh crap, did I really just say that? But anyways, whatever. And I'm listening to myself and I'll whisper something, but it'll be just like, when we're chopping it up just by ourselves, like she'll be talking and then I'll whisper a side note because weirdo. So, you know.
Yeah. It's like also this. Yeah, I do. I'm sure you all have this too. Like where, because we I mean we do like our audio and then we also have our video, and so Kat over here will do our
me.
audio editing and I do the video recording. But I'll like listen, like I'll be like editing and I'm like I did not catch when you said this ridiculous thing, or if she like we had one back then where she didn't know the name of an actor, and she just said his name like he was just like an average person. I was like, wait a second, do you not know who this is? And I didn't catch it in the show. I was just like,
I
oh,
think it
and
was
then,
one of the Skarsgård. No, that was
no,
different.
you
Never
would
mind.
remember this.
Ignore me.
It's a lot of Skarsgårds.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
many of them.
But I think if you said Skarsgård, you would know what it was.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but I just remember being like, I can't believe you don't know who this is. And it was too late. Like, the episode was already, but it was just an inside joke for me to be like, oh, remember that time Kat didn't know who that actor was and refer to them as a normal person. So yes, like I said, we have, you know, a lot in common in specifically love and appreciation for horror, and just like, I think when we've previously had on other horror podcasts, we found that, you know, there's like this appreciation and also like an understanding of like sometimes they're doing too much or or they're not doing enough for other things. It's like, what are you doing? So I wanted to kind of open up to start so that our, you know, listeners and viewers can learn more about you all. What was the kind of ignition to start Girl That's Scary podcast?
Random thoughts and ideas. So seriously, for years, like as a side note for myself, like people like, oh, you should do radio. Whoa. I'm like, okay, girl, I guess. But Jazz was actually on a previous podcast with some of our other friends called The Link Up. And they had asked me to do the intro for The Link Up. I don't know, my voice is real deep, so we just shaking and moving. And then unfortunately they had ended, even though they're so awesome and they're still like, you know, so
we're still homegirls.
Yeah, so nothing bad happened. But yeah, so I had asked Jazz, like, hey, what's a random idea I had? And I tip my hat to people who are able to have Dolo podcasts, because it's already like bad enough I'm talking to myself on my own time. Yeah. But I cannot imagine me being able to just have a one-man conversation with everybody. And then on top of that, all the work that goes into, you know, maintaining, like, y'all, clearly it's more multiples of y'all and it's multiples of us, but really for people who are talking by themselves, like, woo. So I asked Jazz and she said yes, and now we're together now. So that's it.
That's really it.
Yeah, that was a similar spark for us, where it was like, I really want a podcast.
And I was like, I really want to be friends. So
I want to excuse
together
with you all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it was like, what do we both like? Oh, horror. And then there it is. The rest is history. There's I, you know, I've done some stalking of your website, because one, I think it's great. You put a lot of work into it, and I appreciate it. And I did find, I was like, one thing stood out to me, and you probably just like sweep this under the rug, but in your little favorite serial killer section, Jazz, you put Aaron/Joseph from Creep in Creep 2, and I just wanted to like say thank you, because no one understands my appreciation for that film and how trippy it's like. It is really scary and also amazing.
Let me tell y'all, I was never interested in Creep. I kept scrolling past it. I was like, what is this? Who is this white man on the front? I don't know who that is. He looks scary. I'm not really into it. And then Kat was like, we should do Creep. And I was like, all right. And it's only 2 movies. So, all right. Man, I watched that first one. I was like, God damn, that was good. Let me put to the second one. And then for someone like that, the way that they talk, that mumblecore, well, the horror movies are mumblecore. I didn't think I would be interested in heavy conversation movies. I thought I'd be interested in more action stuff happening. No, the things that man says shake me. And there are so many times where that person needed to leave and they didn't leave. And I just was like, why are you still here? Baby, they can keep the money. You got to go home right now. But I think he's just very interesting. And he's unpredictable. And that's terrifying. Because, you know, Chucky gonna do the same thing. We already know how Jason coming. We know how Michael Myers coming. He about to creep through the shadows and pull up on you. Man, Creep, whatever we don't know what his name is.
Aaron, whoever he is.
Because he's make believe. He'll pull up on you in public nighttime, daytime. He gonna be by your bed. You got the camera now. He got the camera. You don't know what his
He
backstory
wanted
is.
you to have a camera.
You know what? No. The answer is no. Capital N, little O, period. No, thank you. But I loved it.
Yes, I agree, because like all those the other like spooks that you like mentioned, right? Like of like Chucky or Freddy or whatever. Like those are supernatural. Like those are not real, right? Like those are
Yeah,
just
it's
like
not just some dude.
yeah, right. This is a real person. Like that could happen. It is not far fetched. Like serial killers are real. They're creeps, and like and it also really draws onto that as you're saying, Des, of like there's clear times where you should leave and you don't because there's like that social awkwardness of like,
Politeness,
oh, I
yeah.
want to, yeah, you want to like be polite, you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, and so we're operating that instead of being like, you know what, no, it's allowed to, you're allowed to just leave. You're allowed to be like, nope, that's enough for me today. I gotta
There's
go.
some real murder vibes, and I don't wish to be murdered today. So
Like, I'm sorry
I'm gonna
that
leave.
I'm sorry that that's what you are. It's not my job to fix you and to be the person that stays and listens. I don't have to be that person.
Okay.
Literally. This is what the therapist be saying. Draw boundaries. Okay, we're not here to be polite. We're here to be kind, and you have to be kind to yourself first by pulling yourself out of situations that are stressing you the hell out. They gonna have to deal with their feelings. That's their own cross to bear because they sad because you wanted to leave. Well, they're being weird. They need to sit with that. They need to sit with
Also,
their being weird.
Red flags. There were so many
Yeah.
red flags. I don't know. And also, like when listening or not listening, when you're watching the movie and you think like, man, if that was me, I'd be doing XYZ. But would you really be doing XYZ? Because I
Yeah.
feel like the way the movie is set up, the character also has that same mindset, like, oh, this is bad, and I don't know if I should go, but man, I really care about what Aaron's going on. Like, is he okay? Like, is this really a trick?
No, I would be leaving. I wouldn't have got out of the car. I would have seen the joint. I'm not trying to spoil it, but the first situation when I'm like, this looks shaky. Put the car in reverse. You know what? I wasted some gas money. That's the L I took today. That's it.
Go back to Craigslist, find a different gig.
Exactly.
That's it. Yeah. That's like at some point it's like you really do have to just accept a red flag for what it is. Because he really was feeling where he was just like feeling bad. Like he there was a lot of times where he's like, I feel bad that I'm judging you. It's like, but this is a stranger. This is a
Yeah, it's
stranger.
not like your friends.
And
But
part of
even
that
then-
also, I feel like plays in the fact that he is a white man, the video guy, like, because like women aren't gonna like you're not bringing me into the middle of the woods alone with some weirdo. Like I'm not going there.
You know what?
Well,
because the second movie, I'm
The
like,
second one does have but she like knows a little bit though. Like I think it's a little. The intrigue was playing on the fact that she thought it was weird, right? It wasn't like this, like you couldn't put a woman in the same situation as first dude.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she
You're
was
right.
definitely trying to get her views up. But I feel like, she didn't have to go out to the killer cabin to get the views up, girl. You could have just did a little bit of marketing because you were getting 10 views. And let me tell you something, anybody that got a YouTube channel, you just retweeting the channel a few times will get you more than 10 views. Something's up with your marketing. It's not your content, love. You might want to, go back to the drawing board, but I feel like going to the murder cabin is not a good choice for your views because how are you going to have a second video?
Yeah. Yes, that which is so funny. So we will be later in this conversation be talking about the film that you all pitched, and I have those very real thoughts in regards to it because Kat and I were differing in it because I was like, no, I would definitely be the one. Like, we need views. Like, I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna stage some scary things to happen, and I'm gonna get people to be scared. I'm gonna have this whole production. I was like, I already got friends. I know the people who could do this. I was like, let's go. And Kat's like, like, I'm not going in there.
No, you have dolls on purpose, though, so that's the difference between us. You have dolls on purpose. You would use a Ouija board. I would not. Like it's very strange. I don't. Gabe loves horror in a way that is more complex than the way I love horror, and that I respect it out of fear. And Gabe's like, I'm gonna do that now. Did you not watch the film? Don't do the thing the film said.
Yes.
That's scary, girl. Because I'm like, wait a minute, are we? Because I don't do Ouija boards. I won't even say Candyman name more than one time in a 24-hour. And Tony Talk is literally walking down the street, minding his business, eating sushi as he does. And I know that's a real person, but I'm not saying the name in the mirror, girl. I'm just not doing it. There's certain things that I just will not do, but I'm willing to watch the movie. Also, you're right. I'm not okay. I hate pranks, but I feel like if you set the pranks up and tell your friends, that's okay. I understand. Pranks are not. If you tell your friends in advance, look, we'll get these views. I'm gonna split the money. I'm not gonna tell you what the scares are, but there are scares. That's all you need to tell them. If they're your real friends and they know what's up, they'll be fine. Just don't tell them where the scares are. But you can't just be springing the scares on them and they thinking it's real and you giving people heart attacks and making their blood pressure go up. Because no. And also, I'm not going in because haunted asylums stress me out. I cannot. Asylums and hospitals, regular non-haunted hospitals. No. So
people in it.
Yeah. So abandoned with no doctors in there or lights. No,
it's gated. So you're talking. I'm crying inside of my chest still because she's like, my friends. I'm thinking, girl, I know your friends. I'm gonna let you know right now. We ain't going to no haunted place.
Our friends are doing that.
And I love horror, I feel like I won't say we love it more than everyone else, but there's a handful of us, and I'm just like, girl, we not smelling that building. We just gonna read the paper about it. Maybe we can go pose out on the roadside, be like, oh, we was here. That's about it because the ghost gonna get in the car.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, the ghost gonna hitch a ride with me, and when we get in, it's always a scare when they're in the rearview mirror. Now the ghost in my car because I done pulled up to the path on the side of the road. No, thank you. I'm not going within 5 miles of the asylum. No, thank you.
I've seen urban legends. Right there. You didn't check the back seat. You didn't check the back seat.
Always check the back seat.
I will check the back seat when it's clearly empty.
Yeah, like just
better safe than sorry.
I will say after we watched the film, it was in when we talk about it, but after we watched it, it was one of those films where it was like just too real for me. Where I turned on all the lights and I had to I turned off the hallway light and I ran into my room, and my partner was like, "It's one of those films, huh?" And then when I watched it again at Kat's house, I went to go use her bathroom, and I was like, "I'm opening the shower, shower all the way up. Like you're not hiding in there."
There were regular house showers in the movie, but now we're scared of them.
No, not. They could be in there. I don't know. I've opened the door now.
It's okay. You're doing your due diligence. That's fine.
I never judge people for double checking. Let me tell you,
never
if you need to turn all the lights on, you just need to turn all the lights on. And this movie gave me very much so, as we talked, because it's like my third time watching it. And I watched it in the middle of the night. I put the blanket over my head. I turned all the lights off. I was literally looking at the TV like this. I was like, no, girl, don't go in there. And I'm like, okay. So this is giving me Blair Witch. Like not the whole aesthetic, because of course Blair Witch didn't have all that technology. It was 3 motherfuckers in the woods with the heavy cameras with the battery packs. One was even black and white. They got drones. They got the little
360. They had 360 cameras, GoPros.
Yeah, they had everything on top of phones and whatever other cameras they had. So it gives this updated thing they're coming with. They just set up a tent with the I'm like, y'all got the internet going out here? Y'all got a satellite. Well, I don't know what kind of technology this is, but y'all got this stuff going on. But it's the middle of the night and the road is over there, which makes it so creepy when you get to the movie and you realize that, girl, you're not getting back to that car. You're just not getting back to the car, but it's so close. Like in Blair Witch, they were miles from that car. They were miles away. Y'all were lost. This one is like the supernatural horror of the woods are moving. I don't know what you thought. The woods, the walls, everything is moving. You're not getting out, love.
This movie did what Grave Encounters thought it was doing. And that's all I'm going to say on that. Especially for those who have not seen Grave Encounters.
We tried it more than once. We keep like, oh, I see. Oh, I didn't see. We'll go like, oh, we didn't see this. And then we start watching and be like, we seen this movie before, and then be pissed. And I'm like, it's not the worst movie, but I was not a fan of Grave Encounters.
Yeah, I have been trying to remember the name of it for so long because I was like, what is that one? So like, we love horror. There's ones that there's subgenres that we're not the biggest fans of. We're like, I could do without. My favorite subgenre of horror is found footage. That's one of my top favorite. If you give me an excuse, a reason behind a camera existing, Like, I'm like, all right, I'm sold. I'm in. This is real. Like, I'm going to suspend disbelief for today. Like, I know, it's fake, but I'm like, this is fun. I can believe stupid things right now. And kind of just like do that. And it also like is part of like some of the scariest films for me when they're found footage. They're, especially when it deals with like auditory things in the film that's like half found footage, half like performed. The Fourth Kind, which is about like the aliens, they have like the recording of like a session and they play it, and it's just like screeching or screaming, and that always like makes me like cry. Like my eyes get all watery because I'm just like, oh god, this is really scary. Or in like ghost shows, like those really cheesy ones on like Netflix or like Investigation Discovery, where they'll be like, and then in my house the plates fell or whatever, and they like play back like, oh, can you hear how it's saying mommy or whatever? It's not saying mommy, but they put the subtitles there. You're now hearing it say mommy. It gets me every time. I'm like, oh god, this is great and also scary. So that's my like favorite and also the scariest like subgenre of horror. So I wanted to ask you two what your like favorite type of horror is. Like, what if you see like there's a new film and it is like this, you're like, all right, I gotta go. That's it. Clear my schedule.
Well, one, are we the same person? Two, paired with one. If it's not zombies, because if it's a living dead or virus or whatever, I'm in there. If it's not that, it's definitely found footage. I have a thing when I'm watching a movie, and I love it when it's not a found footage film and I'm still getting the same feeling. Like the movie sets itself up and I feel now immersed in the film. Like I'm in it. A good example of this is VHS 2. A lot of the different stories, because everyone's got feelings about the first one. But the second one, there was a couple stories in there that was like, all right, I'm watching this movie and amongst other movies that are kind of like this and feeling like, holy shit, is this happening to me? Like, I have to check in my room.
As above, so below. Girl. I was stressed. Now, for me, I do love found footage, but I don't even need a real good reason for the camera to be held. I don't care. I don't give a damn. This person's been on this phone for 12 hours holding it like this. Girl, the phone is dead. But I'm not asking those questions because I just do not care. Like certain questions I do not ask. I don't require horror to be grounded in all this reality because I just feel like, well, where's the fun in that? Like if everything needs to be grounded, why? Why do they need a good reason to record? They started recording, the ghost came out. Everything is dead. Okay. Like, but I love found footage. And I also really enjoy a good demon possession. Although, The Conjuring really cranked it up with the commercial demon possession movies. They're not bad. It's just that, okay, I want to break for like 5 years and not see a lot of demon possession movies. It's kind of like when all the zombie movies came out and you were just watching them back to back to back to back to back. And it's like, okay, can I go 2 or 3 months without a zombie film?
No, I need more.
You need more. I'm like, girl, I need a little break. Let me just break into the vampires again or something. And I don't even like vampires like that. But I was like, I need to see something new. I just started breaking into the black and white films and I really enjoy those. They're not as scary to me, but the stories are more cohesive. They're not adding nothing. The movie started on Tuesday night. It ended on Wednesday at noon. You are literally walking through them doing step by step of what is happening. Like if you go, they like literally it's Tuesday and you go through the regular day with the characters. It's never like, 4 months later. They never do any of that. The stories are just so simple that I really have a good time. But found footage.
Yes, we do have a comment from Bobby Likes It Spaghetti. Hi, Bobby. It says, "Hey y'all, demon possession and zombies."
Of course,
yes,
Bobby.
Okay, let me not yell his name.
I agree 100%. Love zombie films whenever they come in. It's just because they're always like they're one of the best and most reliable for it also to be like political in some way, right? It's always used as like that mouthpiece, but you can still just enjoy them as a horror movie. Like it doesn't have to be all that, which I always like enjoy for that. Even some of them that are just like dumb. It's just like zombies are fun. I like reading zombie books, like comics, etc. And demon possession, we have our feelings about Ed and Lorraine Warren, and have spoken on them.
They might have been scammers.
I made a fun TikTok about it.
We've made TikToks.
The one TikTok I made,
it
was about them.
Yeah, we've debunked their things, whatever. But I totally I enjoy that it is a kind of like an entry level horror for some people, because it isn't so scary that it could still be like watched and enjoyed, and then maybe kind of inspire them to do other horror. My cat, what is your favorite type of sub horror subgenre?
I don't remember what I've said before, but when they said zombies, I was like, yes, 100%, because it's just like the most perfect representative of how trash people are. Just like they just like, it's always like the zombies are scary, but then you know who's gonna fuck everything up? That guy.
Yeah,
Tom.
yeah,
That
it's always
guy
the people,
who
yeah.
was trash in real life, but he just gets to be extra trash now, and it's just like, I don't know. It's just refreshing to see people suck, because they do, and it's just like, nice. All right, y'all being honest. That's good. Excellent.
Literally, someone's always hiding a bite.
Tom.
Yeah.
Tom.
Yeah.
Poor Tom. We just
Always a
Self-preservation and selfishness. And it's
hiding
just,
bites, stealing
always.
stuff, shooting people, just letting zombies loose or some shit, or just somebody got bit and you just don't want to kill them. Girl, they're gonna eat everyone in the car. What are we doing?
yeah. Petty
Like, they're
murder
gone. Tom is
what it
gone.
is.
Tom is gone the second that he got bit. Like, we gotta
Yeah.
RIP Tom. I know that you're still here and you're talking to us, but RIP, you have to go. Like, you were
Meet
dead.
you at the
You're
crossroads. You won't be
dead now.
lonely.
Yeah, like there's a
Yeah.
lot of people there. It's over. And there's also like those people who like thrive when like society collapses, like those people who were
I'm
like,
not.
you know, they worked at Blockbuster back then.
now-
Whatever Blockbuster is owned.
They're the best zombie murderer.
Yeah,
and they
now
get
they're
their
like the
trophy.
head of society, but they're rude and they're awful. Like those people. Like I think of the show on Netflix, which Kat still doesn't watch and needs to, Alice in Borderlands.
Oh,
I haven't
yes.
seen that yet.
I haven't seen it either.
So good. It's a Japanese show based on a manga where these people get dropped into this alternate reality where they're forced to play these games, and like they will die, and they have like you have to play to get days on your visa, and there's a character that they meet later who like they have flashbacks often to like their lives before. Some of them are really great. Like there's a trans character that you don't know is trans until the end, and you're like, what? That's so dope. But there's like this one dude who was just like a nothing person who like was just shit on his whole life, and then he has some swords, and now he's like a badass murdery guy for the bad guys. Like, and so he like does, and you're just like, oh, he is the worst. And the trans woman gets to kick his ass, which is fun. And I was like, okay, yes. It's a great show. I binged it like immediately. That was a situation, because often when I'm watching like horror movies or shows, I'm like, you know what, I feel like maybe I would do this. Like I would probably murder a murderer before they murder me. Like you're not getting me in Halloween. I'm not going in the house. That guy walks too slow. I'm not. It's not gonna work. Right? Like
Listen,
it's not how it's happening.
Track star.
Exactly, like it's just not it. So when I see the Alice in Borderlands, that one gets me because I'm like, I couldn't win those games, and like the psychology of like watching your loved ones and friends and people that you're like just getting to know just like die because of this stupid game you have no control over. I was like, no, that would be it for me. Like I just feel like I can't.
Yeah.
This is it. A laser to the head, whatever it is to get me out of here. I'm not. I tap out. It's done for me.
I mean, that's also zombies for me though, because I know the first 5 minutes of zombies, I'm dead. Like that's fun to watch because I know I would not live very long if that situation were to happen in real life. Because I need inhalers and like things for light. Like I need lots of medication to survive. So like zombies happen, it's like you're either carrying me the whole way, or I'm dead within the first 5 minutes, and it's just fun to like watch what society does.
Listen,
I'm glad you were
That's
real
not
with
right.
yourself, because
we
there's so
dying.
many
Yeah.
people who
I'm
are
not
like, I'm
leaving.
gonna live.
I'm
You're
gonna starve
actually
to death.
not.
If the building
won't.
doesn't burn down, which people forget that it's not just zombies, cars are crashing,
People.
planes are
Yeah.
crashing, it's fires. and
Society
shit.
collapses so
Who's
quick.
putting out the fires? No one.
Yeah,
So in
immediately.
this high-rise building, if we could just sit in here with the doors locked, we're up here on not the top floor, but we're not on the first floor. So I'm like, the zombies might have trouble getting into the door because the hallway is small, so they can't just bust the door down because they would need a lot of pressure, and they can't. The hallway's too slim.
Well, we ain't gonna have no trouble getting out. So
Yeah, but
that's
I'm
it.
not. I'm just gonna be looking on the balcony like, wow, that's crazy. Unless the zombies are like from World War Z and they scale in the building and shit, and then that's it.
No.
We're definitely. I'm
No.
dead within the first 24 hours,
That's
Yeah.
best.
and I'm
Like
okay with
nothing.
that. Take me to the king.
Period.
I
Dead
don't
is
have much
best,
to
'cause
bring.
This is too much. It's too much. Could you imagine? Like just
Why would
opening
you
your
want
eyes?
to?
Yeah.
Like, why would you want to
girl.
live that way?
My will to live is not that strong. Take me out.
Then it's gonna be
Bye.
stinking because zombies is gonna be decaying and rotting corpses, and I don't have the time. That's too
Smelly.
much.
Yeah, really, and that's like so. I think this is a good segue into the film that you had us watch, which is Gonjiam Haunted Asylum. Because I felt that way at the end of that film, which we'll get to like spoiler town. But there was like all this stuff happening where I was like texting Kat, like that's it. Like if I'm in this, I'm just done. Like I'm not letting the ghost kill me. Like you're not getting it.
Yeah, it's
you're
a
not
choice
getting
at that point.
Okay, I'm killing me.
Petty,
so that I'm just out of this. Like I'm done.
Self-murder.
Yeah, like just like as it's like building up, I was like, mm-mm. Like I'm not staying for this. I am not staying, and I'm not looking. I'm not opening my eyes. Like you could just take me and I don't know what's happening. That's how it's going. So for people who don't know, I will tell you what Gonjiam is about. So the crew of a horror web series travels to an abandoned asylum for a live broadcast. It soon encounters much more than expected as it moves deeper inside the nightmarish old building. And when you all like suggested it, when I was excited because found footage, I was like, yeah. But also Korean. Love Korean horror. I think they're always on a different level, which is like production value with like emotions. Like I have Parasite is just over here, like always.
It fell off the wall last episode.
Yeah, it doesn't want to stay up. It's haunted. I love it, and I also like. I listen to a lot of K-pop and K-R&B, but also watch a lot of K-dramas. So I'm like, Korea is my thing. In fact, the lead guy, the captain, who's like putting the whole production, is in one of the K-dramas I watched, and I recognized him, and I was like,
wow.
hey, that's the second lead.
That guy.
That's the boy that didn't get the girl in the end, and it was nice to see him. I was just like so excited I recognized someone. I was like, can we do this? So super exciting, and it follows this horror team who have a show, and they go to investigate this supposedly one of the number 4 haunted places, which is an asylum, which is a lot. There's a lot of those, especially here in Philadelphia. Pennsylvania has a lot of haunted asylums, and then we also have the haunted prison with Eastern State. So we're familiar, and there's like 2 others actually. I can't remember their names. So it definitely felt very real, and I was like, that's why when it was starting and they were like a production, I was enthused because of the production value. I was like, okay, they got this kind of camera. I was like, that's cool. Oh, they're setting it up over here. And then they're like, this one moves. And I was like, they got the 360. And I was like, I'm writing down like, all right, who do I know? I know somebody who's got a drone. I know where to get a 360 camera. I know like all these things. And so I was like, I was like, I know how to get the internet. I was like, I know who would be, in the tent for me. I was like, all right, we're going to get views. Yeah. I was like, we're getting views. We're going to do it. And then, of course, as it goes, I'm like, oh, no. We were asked, and maybe in the future of Ghouls, someone had like proposed to us doing a film where we would go into one of those like haunted prisons that exist in Pennsylvania, where they would set up spooks and traps and we would react, and it would be filmed. But it would also be like a acted out film with like lines. It hasn't come yet, but I'm like, oh man, we could do it. So I was very, very excited. And then it totally takes that hard left where I was like, oh no. It's like, I would have been here. I would have been in here and I would have been in trouble. Because that is me.
All dead. All the way dead.
I would have been entirely dead.
This gonna be gay, like literally go be at the camera crying like the Blair Witch with the snot running down. I'm sorry guys, I should have brought nobody out here. Oh my god. I didn't know it was haunted for real, bitch. Damn.
It's haunted for real. They didn't say it was haunted, y'all. Please.
Yeah.
I'm concerned.
Yes. It's definitely had a lot of the Blair Witch feel like towards the end, there's like a scene where their characters is like in that empty room and there's the person in the corner. And I was like, that is Blair Witch. That's the ending of Blair Witch. And I was like, but better. I was like, you did Blair Witch, but you did it good. And so I'm like super excited. Oh, Bobby says that I need to do it.
Bobby.
Please don't do that because then I'll have to go and I don't want to.
Yeah, don't go. Yeah. Don't do it. Reconsider.
You gotta come where I go.
Not for the views, y'all.
Not for the. I was like, we would get so many views. It would be wonderful.
I do this for friendship, not fame. I'll show up, I guess, but I will be the one who tries to leave in the beginning after being scared once. and then I can't find survival, and then I'll just haunt you because I'm sad that you.
Somebody got to wash the car.
Yeah, right.
I would be at the car trying to figure out how the hell
somebody's got to, I'm the medic, you know, just in case anyone gets boo-boo. I got Band-Aids, right?
I'm
yeah,
CPR
you would be in
certified.
there. I can be medic. You would be in there. I already know.
You would be medic. I would be in there. What I really enjoyed was like because unlike other found footage, right? Like even when it is a production team, this one just seemed so much more believable and exciting to me because I was like, as a YouTube person, I was like, I get it, like needing those views, needing that. I was like, $500,000 is a lot of money to just walk through a spooky place, right? So I totally got that, and I really enjoyed like there are those scenes where like something spooky will happen and they all run because they're like freaking out and they're like grouped together and they're like panicked. They're like, did you see that? Did you see that? And then, you know, the captain comes online just saying like, you got to say your line, group up. And then they just get in line and they're like, oh, we just saw something really scary, right? And then he like will replay it. I was like, that is so cool. Like, I don't know why. I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And that was exciting for me. It was like that. I was sold for that. I was like, that is so great. Until it all like kind of goes haywire. And I was like, why didn't you all leave?
Well, could they?
Some of them tried to. Some tried to.
I was just so scared for them because the captain is on the line in their ear, getting on their nerves, trying to get to the bag. And I get it. But also, like, sir, you're not going to really, you know, if all of y'all die tonight, what check? Like, it's not, it don't even
passion.
Who? Now, I know you probably thinking, I got to get these views. Like, I get it. You know, you got rent due, you know, maybe you want to buy some new clothes. You try to expand your audience. You know, that's nice. But clearly, this is real. The jokes y'all set up, we've already debunked them. This is real. You need to pull the plug. Y'all need to take these tents down. Y'all need to do something. You need to just abandon ship at this point. Because like we said, the ghost is going to go home with you. The ghost said, oh, you was trying to see somebody get hurt? Okay, I got you.
Like Birdman.
Deliver.
I got you.
You came for a show, and we have it. We have that show. I will say we'll enter into Spoiler Town. And just if anyone who hasn't seen it, if you're listening to this, because this airs tomorrow, make sure you go and watch it. We watched it for free on Tubi. It's got a few commercials, but they were perfectly timed for when the commercial, like they have little interstitials that pop up for their like horror channels. So they were perfectly timed. It wasn't in the middle of like suspense. If anything, it added to it because you were like, what's next? So Tubi, free, do it. And definitely watch it. It's a hidden gem. I'm so thankful that you all shared it with. I was like, I don't know if I would have ever found it, and I'm so excited for it. It's now like one of my top favorite found footage horror films. Like I said, I watched it twice. We forced Kat's partner to watch it, even though he is terrified of horror movies. He had to bless the house.
He made me hold his hands while he prayed, and literally like was just like praying extra all over his house, like the house, like panicked. He was like had nightmares apparently, told me, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And it's hard because it's like I can't watch a scary movie by myself. I'm not that kind of like. I need the camaraderie of friendship to face these scary things. I cannot do what Gabe did and watch it in the dark by yourself. I don't have that. I will if I have to, but it's terrifying. Like that. No, but yeah, he's scarred. He literally, I jokingly afterwards, I don't know if you remember the scene where the girl turns around and her eyes are black and she goes, and I just kept doing that because I thought it was funny. And he was like, it's not funny, you need to stop. And then we stopped because I'm nice. It wasn't gonna hurt him or anything, but it was so scary. That was my favorite part of the entire film, was when she turned around and just was like,
terrifying.
Well, because the build up to that was like what was scary, right? Is because she's like, why didn't you answer me? Like, I just saw something that does not add up. Like, I am not in the place I thought I was. Like, this is not real. Like, I'm having a psychotic break and you're not answering. And then like when she just looks at, they do really well with like, not just like cutting to the action, like drawing out like the person just reacting and being scared. Cause she's like, what's going on? And there's like full minutes where you're like, what is going on? Like, show us what you're seeing because you're freaking out and we don't know why. And it just adds to the tension of why we're freaking out. And then you finally see her and it's like, what's going on here? And then I was like, no. Like that at that point, I was like this watching the movie. Like my partner would walk by like to go to the kitchen or whatever. He just hear me like, absolutely not. No. There's no way. Can't no. No. Just like yelling at the TV alone in the dark, like, no, stop. Don't look back there. Don't look. You're looking again. Are you really looking again? That the whole time.
My thing is covering the ears. I don't cover my eyes, but I'm like, nope, I will not hear this musical sting. Nope. Yes. Let me relax.
If I think there's like a jump scare coming, I'll like squint because then I'm closer to my eyes being closed. So I'll just like, I still see what's going on, but I don't want to. Like I'm ready for it to happen, and I'm so scared. Nightcrawler Theater, hello.
Hey.
Hi, welcome. Just want to put people in there. We're talking about Ganjiam. Why did you all pitch this film to us?
Found footage one.
Boom.
We hadn't talked about it. It was a spooky one-off movie. So I like, anytime someone's like, what do you guys want to talk about? That like the numbers start flying across my head like Tyrese. I'm just like, I don't know what to pick, but then I'm like, you know what? And I also don't want to pick something that's gonna be ass, because then I pick it. Now we gotta talk about a movie that nobody liked. So I'm like, okay, this one's scary. Okay, it's a foreign film, so it's already about to be a little bit top notch, because American films.
Yeah.
There's some gems in there, but when we talk about the foreign films that we pull up on, they're just so good. And again, we talked about it before. They don't even reinvent the wheel. They give you something that you have seen before, but they do execute it so well that you are willing to watch it again and suggest it.
Yeah.
And I watched it like a few weeks beforehand, before y'all reached out. I was like, this one. And I was
completely forgot I saw it before.
I thought you hadn't seen it before. You were like, I've seen this.
While I was watching it, I completely forgot. And I was still scared again. Like, I was like, what the hell's going on? Oh, God, no.
You're right.
Oh, I see this. But I completely forgot what happened, so it just made it 10 times better.
Yeah. Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, it was just, I was like, this is going to have some scares. And also there's not going to be too many parts where, the dudes are being kind of like dickheads, because that happens a lot in America, like especially slashers and stuff. They're always like jerks. And then I got to talk about you being a jerk versus, no, these teens are, I mean, granted, one of them is kind of mean to the other girl, like throughout the movie. But
it was like, it kind of added to it instead of it being like,
yeah, but it wasn't like so aggressive that we have to stop and talk about it.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, this is where we can focus on the scares. So that's why.
Yeah, we had I think the last found footage film we watched was Devil's Pass.
It was so bad.
About the Dyatlov Pass incident.
I'm about to write that down because I ain't seen it.
I have no idea.
You don't need to see it if I'm being honest.
It's very bad.
The characters are just so unlikable. It's just like a bunch of like white teenagers just being the worst. Like, you don't root for them at all. There's so much like gross, I make films, I'm a film student, male gaze time. When they're trying to like investigate this incident that's like, people died, guy. Like, why are you zooming in on this chick's boobs? Like, this is not the time. Yeah. You're interviewing this lady who's talking about like these murdered people. Like, why is this? You shouldn't be making this film. Go home. You should not be in Russia. Why?
Yeah.
So don't watch it. It was bad. It was a bad movie.
It's a very entitled film student where it's like, no one is going to get to the bottom of this thing except us because we have money and we're white. Like, it was gross. A lot of it was cringy. It was not really interesting. It takes a weird turn at the end where you're like, what? Why? We could have just made a good film. It's gross. And yeah, there's not a single redeemable character in it that you're rooting for, which is why I like this one, because I was like, I already kind of feel like I'm their friend group, even though they just met. Like, I'm already in it. Like, I was like,
yeah, they're like cute and fun.
Team. They all like jumped in the water. It's cold. They have like inside jokes already. Like, like I was already in it. Whereas that one was like, Devil's Pass has blatant ripoffs of Blair Witch Project. Like, there's even the point where at the end she is sobbing into a camera. And I was like,
yes,
like you cannot be more on the nose as far as like found footage. It made me mad because I was like, this gives found footage films a bad name. So I do not want people to watch this and then be like, I don't want to do found footage anymore. Yeah.
Found footage has a lot of hit or miss. Like there are some movies that are really not good. But here's the thing. You said that I'm hard headed, so I'm still probably gonna watch the movie anyway because people are like, don't watch this. Me hit and play.
I just want to know when we're done talking, you could just, I'm gonna put my hand up so you don't see Jazz. Just like that. I know you can still see her, but we're gonna act like you don't see her. And then I want y'all to let me know if all of them died in, because that's all I want to know. Did everyone die?
You'll be thrilled. You'll be thrilled with their inevitable demise.
Awesome. That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our episode on it was great because we did like natural disasters. So because our usual shows, which don't have guests like this, are usually half where we like analyze a film and kind of talk about it, and then the other half is like we're talking about what's the real things that are happening. So we talked about like avalanches and like what are the real deals with those. And so it was like that where we were like really excited about like
avalanche murder,
and the Dial-Up Pass incident, which is actually very interesting.
Thing.
And then it was like the film was like, it was trash. It was so mad. I was so mad. If you just want to hear me go on a rant for like 30 minutes straight and me being like, trash.
After I watch the film, I'm like, all right, watch the film so I can pull press play. That is me watching terrible films, and sometimes I find fun things in the terrible films. But this doesn't sound. It sounds like they were trying to be serious, because the films when they're bad and cheesy, those where you're gonna have the most fun. Yeah, because it's gonna be fun. Like I don't care what nobody say. I was talking to somebody on Clubhouse because I be on Clubhouse, y'all, and we were talking about the Wicker Man, and the girl was like, I like both Wicker Mans because the OG Wicker Man, it's pretty decent and it's taking it serious, although it's kind of musical, and I feel about musicals, but it still wasn't bad. But that new Jay with Nicolas Cage and them big teeth, and he tried. Whoa, why was it mine? The teeth big as shit coming out his mouth. I die every time. I think that movie is a comedy. And I'm like, I'll be watching it for fun. I think it's great, but terrible. It's great and terrible. So I think they were trying to take it serious. So
Nicolas Cage really be giving his all when he takes on these roles. He is the role. That is him.
He's serious.
Yeah. Whatever it is, he's gonna be that life. Yeah. I feel like if you're saddling up for a Nicolas Cage film, you just got to be like, this is gonna be fun. Like he's gonna have fun with it, and I'm
wacky
gonna have
antics.
Yeah,
will ensue.
And when he's pretty much Donald Trump in The Color Out of Space, and that was very entertaining because he was just roasting Trump the entire time. It was wonderful. So definitely watch Color Out of Space.
Color Out of Space, Mandy, Mom and Dad. Willy's Wonderland. He's really been doing a lot of horror films.
Movie Pig.
Me too.
Yes, I want to see. It's just like John Wick, but Nicolas Cage and Pig.
And that's good enough because I saw Mandy, so I'm willing to tap.
And that's why I was like, this is just Mandy, but instead of Mandy, it's a pig. When I saw the trailer, I was like, this is it. It's just without the synth pop and the bright pink. It's a little more like depressing in that way. Yes. Any last thoughts about Gonjiam?
It's scary. I love that. I think Kat wrote down. I think the actors played with their actual names.
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh wow.
Mine is Charlotte, unless Charlotte's American name is Charlotte.
Yeah, I think her. Yeah, they're all. Yeah, because I was like, June. That's him.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, this is just like Blair Witch Project. That's what I was like. What? And
the same with Paranormal Activity.
Okay, y'all. So I know somebody's going to fight me, but I actually like this better than Blair Witch Project, and I don't really care who's upset about it. But we also know, we
talked about this.
No one else on the streets have heard it yet, but we talked about it. And Blair Witch Project did what she came to do. But that's it. Beautiful gowns, nice camera shots. Local story. I love the lore. She set the stage. After her predecessors really just said, okay, let's usher it into the new millennia. But I'm not even gonna hold you. Gunjam Haunted Asylum actually made me jump. I actually was scared. I actually was super nervous. I mean, I was nervous for them other people out. Heather's annoying as hell. But I was a little nervous watching this movie. Also, the sounds got me too when she started getting caught. What the hell? Oh no. But yeah, no. So I'm ready for people to fight me outside.
Hands.
Yeah, the hands, that was too much because then they spinning around. It's like, oh, you got the hands. No, you got the hands. And I was like, do I have the hands?
Yeah. Yeah. You need to tell me if there's hands around my face. Yeah. Well, that long scene at the end where like you think she got out and then she's in the friggin' room and she does the thing where she like looks and then she's like looking out the door like, stop taking your eyes off of it.
Either
like,
just look at it
and
die
every time.
or like
and she'd be
close your eyes forever and then just
Charlotte.
accept that this is life now.
Charlotte.
You know that door's not opening, girl. Why are you doing that?
Or just jump out the window. Go ahead, fall to your doom.
That's what they want you to do.
Yeah, just it. Like I was like, there's something over there. That was when I was like, I don't even see this movie anymore because she turns her head one more time. Done I can't. Like I know they're over there. Why do we have to keep looking? Like confirms. We already did 3 times now. That's enough. We're alone.
Penchant for pain. That's really what it is. Just delaying the inevitable. The ghost is about to beat your ass. Get ready. Square up because it's time.
Yes, love it. And I do love that they use their real names. Parent Activity, they use their real names, and in the show that Oren Peli made, where I forget what it was called, but they were like on a river or something. They all use their real names too.
I don't know.
I don't know.
No, it sounds familiar. The wheels is moving. Y'all saw me look at the
title. People like, that was it.
There's somebody yelling, yeah.
Oren Peli. What else did you make, friend?
There we go.
That name is very familiar.
Here we go.
Whoa, what?
I don't have Google at my fingertips, so I'm not.
I'm like, no, I've written that name down for some reason. So I'm like, I know.
Yeah, Oren has done the Paranormal Activity franchises, which like I give credit because it revived the found footage movement. So I'm just like, yes, thank you. I can't find it. Oh my gosh. Oren Peli TV show. Come on,
I gotta see that.
A river. It just called The River. Okay. It was like 1 season. It didn't get renewed, but it's like just a bunch of people going on this river, and I want to say either like South America, like they shouldn't be there. Where they shouldn't be. And spooky stuff. There's like it's mentioned in this film, the Island of the Dolls.
Mm-hmm.
Like she said, it was number 3 or whatever. The Island of Dolls.
Yes,
that is featured in that show, The River, because they see them, and I was like, why are we here? This is when we turn around. We don't
know you shouldn't be on this river, baby.
Yeah, turn the boat around. So definitely check that out. For sure.
I wrote it down. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Also, this is a yearly, monthly, daily reminder to watch Hell House LLC.
Yes.
And Tales from the Hood. Now, Hell House LLC is found footage. That is found footage. And it was this random movie. Anytime that cat finds something really scary, my cat, that she finds something, she forces it like, hey, come in here. We're watching this movie today. Or like, you need to watch this right now. Like she will call friends in the room. Like we've made so many people watch Hell House LLC. It's ridiculous.
I'm surprised I still got friends.
But that shit was scary. I was like, wait a minute. All I'm gonna let y'all know is there's a clown. All right.
Oh no.
Speaking of Clown, the movie Clown from like 2014.
Watch it.
If you haven't seen that
was our first episode.
That was our first episode. We talked about that movie.
I feel so bad.
Circling back.
So sad. So sad. It was a sad movie, y'all.
Timmy wanted to get eaten. Timmy was asking for it.
He was just trying to help his kid on the birthday. All he was doing was being a good parent, trying to step in because the birthday entertainment, it was flaking.
Yeah.
This don't make no sense.
That's why you gotta call
Don't be a good dad.
He strategically picked bad kids to eat. Like he was trying. He was trying to still be a good dad.
Well, he pulled up at Chuck E. Cheese, and that's unforgivable. It was unforgivable. You can't do that.
Yeah, clown is how we got our sign off, which is don't get married, they'll eat your kids. Because we were like, this is what happens when you get married. So we think that film.
They try to be a good dad, and then they can't be a good dad because then they put on a clown costume just trying to be nice, and now they're eating your family.
Look what happened.
If the mom just was like, we're gonna be single forever, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah,
which is ridiculous.
It's
ridiculous.
Hell House, LLC, definitely, and yeah, of course, Tales from the Hood, like always, like always.
Just because I'm just like, people don't watch it, and then they pull up on Mortuary Collection, and then I'm looking at them with very intense eyes.
It's the same movie
Stares
minus a few
intensely,
things.
like, and it's not even a bad movie. I'm not hating on that movie, but
No, it was a good time. But also, while watching it, I literally said out loud to Jazz, "We've seen this movie before."
like the whole setup.
That was it.
So if you see Mortuary Collection and you are giving it high praises, please pull up on Tales from the Hood from 1995, please.
Well, now we should watch both and do it like a
there you go.
Comparison.
There you go.
Oh, please compare those movies. If y'all are watching now, like if you've seen Tales from the Hood, just start the Mortuary Collection for 15 minutes, and you're gonna be like,
the roundabout story. It's the same premise.
Literally, it's like
so rude.
It truly is. It the is same
so
premise.
Rude, and they let Clarence William die with no awards. I am upset. Sorry, y'all. I got real mad.
Oh, no.
Yes,
and she should.
Yes. That was like, and that was something that we like have, mentioned that we really appreciate, right? Is that you don't pull any of your punches when you're talking about the content. Like I was listening to your Lovecraft Country, and I was like, yes, like you just gotta call it what it is. At the end of the day, like we're not beating around the bush.
Because Letty deserved better. And I'm just really tired. And Letty was shaking. They were all just shaky. And I read the book and it didn't have to be like this. It just didn't have to, none of this had to be this way. I am still mad it got canceled because I feel like Black art should have the room to make mistakes the same that white art does. Like people be having these ridiculous shows. They be going for seasons. And y'all had this show with all these people watching and you literally cut it. Like, girl.
I will say again that HBO greenlit the Confederacy show. Yeah. And that is the actual sentence. The fact that you thought that you were going to put money behind people who, just because they made Game of Thrones, okay, first of all, they should have been on
we should know already.
Grounded. They should have been grounded.
That's a reason against them. That's not a for.
They shouldn't have been allowed to get no show right away because of what they did in the end. I know y'all was all cahoots together. But why would you think a show that basically is about the Confederacy never ending and how, America unfolded outside of that? Read the room, okay? Yeah. I know that we were having unrest at the time as well. Unfortunately, it is always unrest, and I know that, certain things went into play for things to be making it on a national stage this last go round. But, people be dying every day. So, and even if that wasn't the case, why the hell would you think this is a good idea?
Terrible idea.
Also, Lovecraft Country brought y'all so much money, so much everything. So I'm still waiting for a real reason, the real live Fox 5 reason as to why it wasn't picked up. Because you can't say it didn't make any money. You can't say it didn't bring an audience. You can't say that there wasn't a thirst for a future seasons. So what was the reason?
Yeah.
I'm waiting quickly.
There's no answer. And it's like the fact that they don't think that they have to give one, right? It's like,
that's okay. Actions speak louder than words, baby. You already know what the reason is.
yeah, exactly.
We seen that map. We seen Misha Green showed us that map.
That's okay, girl. They was pissed.
They saw Black Supremacy and said, cancel. No. They hit the big red button.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is like, what was the Neil Gaiman show where they pulled Orlando? What's his name? Because they let him say his own line, like make his own lines, and he would go on like those tangents about like how racist and shitty America is. And they were like, no, your character's gone. And he was like, okay, well, I'm going to tell the world why.
American Gods?
Yes, I think it was American Gods.
Yep, I know. Talk about Orlando.
And there was all that controversy.
I know you're talking about.
Because he was like, I'm just saying what this God would say. Like, if you're going to give this God like a character, this is what he would say. Because he's voicing the pains of his people. So I don't like, and they're like, no, you're too loud. You're being too loud, which happens too often. I did see that Misha has a new deal.
Yes.
Right?
Well,
I don't know what
Apple TV.
What's happening. Yes, Apple TV. But I'm very excited. And I think, we have an exciting new like horror, world. I mean, Nia DaCosta's Candyman is coming out. That's twice. So that's it. We're gonna pull those. We said enough. But Nia DaCosta's film coming out this year. Finally, I've been waiting so long. In September, so long waited for that. Yes. I had a question. Oh, I was listening to an episode, and I don't remember, but I feel like passively it was mentioned that you either got Friday the 13th tattoos or got them on Friday the 13th. Is that true or is that a...
Okay, we got all right in Richmond. I don't know where else they do. I know Richmond, Fredericksburg does it, but on
A lot
Friday
of other places do,
yeah,
just not
Friday the
here.
13th. So if they did have a Friday the 13th tattoo, I would still get it. But on Friday the 13th, they have like $20 tattoos. And the tattoo is $13, but you pay the $7 tip. But I usually go and get like 4 or 5 of them. I mean, we'll go and get like 5 or 6 and be like, yes, I got 60 tattoos. We have like matching tattoos because we went on the same day. You getting this one? Where you getting yours? All right, let me just get it.
Actually, there was one I got Friday the 13th that we weren't together, and they actually had Friday the 13th themes. However, I opted for Nightmare Before Christmas that particular time because it just made sense. Whatever. But you know, it's just something about waking up and deciding I'm gonna get a tattoo today. It's just I don't even know what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna just walk in and point to that one, and that's for life. And I love that.
Yeah, forever. Yes,
love the chaos.
Yes, because our similarities do not end. We also have Friday the 13th tattoos, and they're matching. So they're our ghosts.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, our ghosts.
So cute.
We got an alien. It's
we got
alien.
Mine is up here. Did we get in the same place?
You got chosen your chest. Mine is on my arm up here.
Yeah, so where she has that thing on her arm, I have that like right here in this area.
It's
alien. Now we got to schedule another Friday 13th.
Yeah. There's one coming out. I think there's only one left this year, or one this year.
Because I'm like, is it in Philly? Because
Friday. Yeah, we have a big tattoo community here in Philadelphia. Like South Street is where I've gotten all my tattoos. And so like just off of there. So they always have, and then all throughout, like we have them just everywhere. So next one, let's see. When
I don't know if we're officially friends now, but let's all meet up on Friday the 13th and get tattoos.
We are. Is it
August 13th?
Or is it all
wait,
August 13th.
Oh wow, that's like tomorrow.
Let me see.
That's right. My birthday is the 3rd, so I'm like, hopefully.
Yeah, August 13th is the next Friday 13th.
Wow.
But do I want to be chaotic and drive to Philly and get a tattoo?
Yes.
Maybe, yes.
Live on air. Like, it's live. Should we make it official that it's going to happen?
Let's see. Let's make sure I'm not doing enough for my birthday because I still haven't planned anything because I'm the queen of waiting till the last minute to plan my birthday.
Well, I'll write it down because if there's a way for me to like slide out
Oh no, we lost them.
Oh no.
Technology. Well, you heard it. We're making plans. We will have potentially August 13th Flash Tattoos, Girl That Scary podcast, and the Ghouls Next Door because we all love them. Mark says want one, but I'm scared. No, they're great. You should do it.
Do it.
We are going to
They're cheap and they're forever.
It depends on where you get them. They can be cheap and forever. But do it. Yeah, why not? Your body is a tapestry for art. But we do have to wrap up. We'll probably still talk to there they are. Yay. Welcome back.
Yeah, the internet was hating.
I don't know what that was.
You're trying to make friendship dates and the internet's like, no.
Too powerful.
What I was y'all just let us know what time the parlor's closed because I know usually on days like that there's usually some kind of cutoff because everybody and mama wants to go to some kind of parlor, and I will make something shake.
Like, I think you can schedule ahead. We did ours somewhere where you just you make appointments, so we'll just make them all together, and then we'll go. So I'm ready.
Give me the last appointment of the night.
Yeah, we're doing it. Awesome.
That's fair. It is a far drive.
Now you're writing this down like, okay.
We're on South Street. We can grab a drink. We can hang out. Like this is like the culmination of horror ladies and just like making the best. That's so exciting because we are like neighbors. So thank you both so much for joining us and fostering this lovely friendship that we have now.
Yeah,
thank you for having us. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to go get tattooed. Bobby, if you in the comments, you got to pull up.
Yeah, come with us.
Yes. Bobby is not on the West Coast, girl.
Well, I'm lying. I don't know who people live. Wait a minute.
He lives in Philly too.
No,
I shouldn't tell people's other addresses on the internet. My bad.
I
didn't say that. I didn't say
that. Bobby will fight us.
Oh my God. Let it go closer as well, and then it'll be wonderful. It'll be a nice little horror heads convention that we'll have. Yes, for people who want to listen to your lovely show, where can they find you?
They can definitely find us. I mean, of course, Spotify, Apple, all that stuff. But if you type in "Girl That's Scared" to where you listen to podcasts, we're there. And of course, Twitter and Instagram at Girl That's Scary. And we got a website, www.girlthatscary.com. That will tell you where everything is playing. And of course, if you want the extra bonus content,
Patreon.
We got the stuff on the Patreon. We covered like very random things on there, like remakes and all time. And then you get to vote. Then we have a Discord. We try to get the Discord party jumping. We
need more people popping in Discord.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to send us the Discord. We'll get in there.
Yes. But yeah, y'all.
Yes, please do. Anyone who's watching and listening, do check out Girl That's Scary, because it's such a great show, and you really do feel like it's just your horror friends, right? You get to geek out, and even though you can't hear me when I'm like, yes, right? Like, that is always the mouth. Like, you can't hear me when I'm screaming at you in happiness, but I'm doing it. I'm enjoying myself. So
I feel that way about y'all show too.
We're gonna link up. That's cool. It in the future.
That's how I feel all podcasts I listen to, especially maybe saying stuff. I be laughing. I like I'm in the like I'm a part of the inside joke. I'm just like, ooh, they said that last week. Oh, I know what they talk about. And I'm just like, why am I like this? Why are we friends?
They can't hear us.
Kat can walk past and hear me like out loud laughing, because I'm always, every Monday is my pod mortem Monday. Like, I literally, all you hear is do do do. I'm like, what? It'd be 8 a.m. Or sometimes it's 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, because I ain't go to sleep yet. I've been playing Candy Crush all night. And I be listening to people podcasts, yelling stuff and yelling out names and be like, ooh, I watched that show too, yeah. And then I know people are yelling at us, this is the actor's name, because I stay messing up somebody's name.
I know people yelling at us all the time. Like, why did you forget that thing? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, yes, all in agreement of feeling like there's a community and there's friendship in these shows. So definitely listen. We do have to wrap up here, but it's been lovely. It's been wonderful to connect with you all and have these kindred spirits. I'm like, finally someone who gets us. This is phenomenal. Making future plans. So anyone who's out there, make sure you listen. Remember to like and subscribe for the Ghouls, and listen to us wherever you get your podcasts as well. And we're also on YouTube, and we Twitch every Thursday. Kat or me will Twitch
video games.
Yeah, spooky games. So you can hear us getting freaked out on a different level for that. But with that being said, Kat,
don't get married.
I'll eat your kids.
Yeah.
Bye.